Welcome to the channel Dan, the Ideas Man. Moving along with the same theme from last week's video, climate change, we take a look at a possible solution that all the big players on the World Wide Web and those who are dominating the AI boom could implement to improve our environment, with little effort and much gain. In this new world, as the generations in school today and those wandering the halls of university long for there to be a future that has much of the comfort their parents and grandparents enjoyed, there is a greater call for companies to be more ethical in their practices. And those who take the role of ethics to the next level are certain to achieve success much more than those who consistently disappoint. We see this today in the automotive industry, for example, and the achievements of Tesla and the Chinese auto industry can be mostly placed in the hands of their values as businesses and their desire to ensure the air we all breathe is far cleaner. Applying the same principles to big tech can secure a future for businesses for generations to come. So, the idea is most of the big players, Microsoft, Google, Amazon Web Services, Meta, OpenAI, XAI, plus all the lesser known data centers such as Equinix, Digital Reality, NTT, CyrusOne, GDS Holdings, Telehouse and the like could impact the CO2 levels in the atmosphere whilst practicing normal business. How, I hear you ask? Well, for a start, all data centers and server farms need to draw in huge amounts of air to enable cooling for their systems. Well, most. And those that don't aren't included in the idea. Those that do, though, have the perfect opportunity to separate the CO2 out of the air they utilise to cool their rows and rows of CPUs and GPUs. Much like businesses performing CCS and DAX, direct air capture, conducted by companies such as Climeworks. And as a side note, last week's video referenced CCS and failed to mention DAX. That being said, one major advantage data centers and server farms have is that they use the air to cool their computer farms, by whatever means, and have a massive amount of warm air, excited radiated air to play with, many of which waste this by simply pouring it out the other side. This is an advantage, as the warmer the CO2, the easier it is to separate into C, carbon, and O2, oxygen. The process of CO2 separation into oxygen and carbon was the main focus of my last video. Check out the channel for more info. There are multiple ways to make this a reality, depending on how the air is used in each facility, and it would only need a few added elements of infrastructure to make it happen. Firstly, the exhaust air would need to be passed through a chemical solution to separate the carbon dioxide. Then there is the potential for the rest of the heat in the expended and processed air to be utilised for energy generation to empower the process further. This is totally up to each site, if they wish to increase efficiency even more. Then with the warm solution of CO2, it can be passed through the twin process of separation into its constituent parts, carbon and oxygen, both of which can be stored on site to be sold as a product, allowing the site an additional revenue stream that would more than fund their endeavours and increase profits, for sure. Though, storing oxygen can be a risky business, and, as there is enough profit in the carbon created alone, each server farm and cloud storage site could simply release the oxygen into the atmosphere, aiding in the cooling of our climate and offsetting their own carbon footprint on site. What do you think?
Federal studies are being conducted in your community. Would you like to know more?
Then like and subscribe on YouTube or follow me on X. See you all in the next video.